How are you today, Metaverse?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Just had a whole bunch of cake with some friends.
You fat
Nice.
fuck.
I like cake.
Yeah. And it's hot though in Sydney at the moment. It was a pretty hot day, like 34, 35, and it's still a hot night. So I'm going to sweat tonight.
Yeah, it's been hot all over the country. Like we had a scorcher here in Mount Isa, Queensland, Cairns. I know that was busy. The missus was whinging and moaning about how hot it was.
Don't they all?
Yes, they'd love to it. But it is 9 o'clock Queensland time. So what is that? 11 a.m. UTC. We'll start this week. So we have got a really, really big stage and show tonight. We've got Knife, Fork, Spoon coming in later. So we're bringing the kitchen cutlery. But we'll get through a couple of the talk points I'll try and do every week and try and get this process going a little bit better. And then we'll introduce Metaverse and Six. And Metaverse obviously had last week off. And we had King Lord in place. But special things I wanted to talk about quickly was we've actually got our new team artwork drawn now. So you'll see in the poster tonight, there's a little green V-dub. And it's got myself, Sixon, and Metaverse is the big spoon at the back. So that was actually, Friday is one of the designers for Grape. Came in first with the winning prize. And the second place was Ridho, another one of our designers. So it's cool to see an actual competition where there was 5 or 6 entrants. And if you do want to have a look, the rest of the entries are in the competition channels, Sunday night show. So I know there was a good little video by Russley. It kind of looks that I'm doing like nasty things to Metaverse in the back of the vehicle. My head's bobbing up and down. I look a little bit like Deadpool. But the ones from Ridho, they were pretty cool. I like the quality of these. And, you know, we had...
They're all pretty good.
Yeah, I especially love the chunky fubblies from Ryan Eden. Metaverse's favourite one. So go and copy paste that, save that in your wallet, keep that for later. He absolutely loves that. That's going to be our talk channel for the rest of eternity. One. But really cool. It's actually cool to get some pictures out. And you know, my PFP's been on the advertisements for the last 2-3 months. But it's a team of us on stage here. I had 1 week off. Metaverse sat in for me. Both the lads have been on and off for work and stuff, you know. But we want to keep building this space and building it all out. So that was pretty awesome. But I'll go and say hello first to Metaverse. How are you, man?
Hey, good. COVID's starting to ramp up in Sydney and across Australia, really. We've seen an uptick in cases. So my work has been incredibly busy, and so is my partner. But we are safe, we are sound, we are washing our hands, and we've got our shots. So nothing else we can hope for. Apart from that, it's actually been pretty good. As I revealed last time, I finally finished my degree in adult education. And I'm trying to upskill myself and get a better job in my profession. It's not going too well so far. No one's hiring, which is a shame. So, yeah, everything's been good. It's been a good week. No complaints. I'm just sweating because it's hot today.
What do you mean no one's hiring? I thought health and safety at the moment, health and all of that would be pumping.
Yeah.
Especially the nurses.
It is pumping, but in the wrong direction. They don't have enough staff to even cover wards with nurses. So they're not even looking at hiring nurse educators. It's just like the typical system not doing the right thing at the right time because they're so damn slow.
Yeah, right. Talking of shots, Mr. Sixon, you've had your extra shots this week, yeah?
Hey.
I had one a couple of weeks ago. I had a few side effects, which fuck flies. That's why I just like to state that. They can stick up their ass. But been a pretty good week apart from that. Come off holidays. Pretty happy the scores dropped, get me 12%. And just would like to mention that if you haven't looked at Solana, now's the time to go check it out because they're doing their burns. They're burning all their NFTs that didn't sell. There's only 2,500 have sold, and they're burning the other 5,500 of them from now to the 30th.
What ones? What, Solana?
Solana.
Oh, Solana. Okay. Yeah. Solana. I talk about them all the time. Absolutely. They're doing, we've got them AMA here on Wednesday this week. So definitely they're burning 360 a day. The big question is going to be, and I'll ask them live on stage, I don't know if you know the answer, is does that mean because they've put 6% tokenomics towards their alpha reds, does that mean that we're going to get a higher proportion because there's going to be less alpha reds?
But I reckon it'd be nice. Because if you buy an alpha red, everybody, you get 70,000 of the Solana tokens in April, which I reckon the 4x, at least 10x.
Yeah,
That's just a guess.
Go for it, Meta.
And the tokenomics of that are okay. Is it like the shadowy supercoders where the NFTs got 50% of the entire pool?
No,
Is this as attractive as that?
It's not as attractive as that, but the cost of an NFT is 2 Solana, and you're getting $350 at 0.5 cents a coin, so half a cent a coin. So
that does sound good.
Like you've only got to look at how all of the coins have gone this month and the last 2 months in Solana. So let's first put it out there, not financial advice, but anything that's even with the way they've come down 50% in the last 2 weeks, they're still 20 to 40 times up. So if you're getting $350 of coins, I've got a bag of them. So I'm doing something special, and I'm doing a video for it where I've gone and I'm trying to get the complete set. I'm still working on 3 of the NFTs, unfortunately. So it's because there's not as many on the market. But that game, it won't be out before December if we're lucky to see any of the gameplay next year, that is. And the thing is, you get the tokens from April. So there is going to be a chance to be able to cash out some early. I think it scales, doesn't it, Eggy? You don't get them all at once.
Yeah, you get them for 2 months after, like up to the date. But if you don't buy your NFT now, you don't get including the snapshots. You don't get the full allocation. So that's the trick. If you want to buy now.
I've put the picture of the kind of access for red and blue in the live chat channel, and they look like they do a lot of airdrops here.
Yeah, they've just done an art airdrop this week. They did a comic. It's massive. Let me see if I can find it.
And they just updated their white paper to reflect the burns that they're doing, because the burns weren't part of the original plan, just because they didn't sell.
Yeah, I think I remember that. People were asking them if they're going to burn the rest, if everyone's saying they should.
So they're going to be pretty rare if they burn the rest of them, because there's only 2,500 sold.
Yeah, well, Genesis collection.
So it's one of those things, like you've got to be early in games. You don't have to be early. There's many flip opportunities. I've still got a couple of points to talk over as well. But there's going to be many early opportunities. For example, this week, Catalina Whale Mixer. It's the fucking Catalina Whale Mixer. They came in, what night was that? Was it my Wednesday night, I believe? And I interviewed them at 11 o'clock at night. That was awesome. Got to bed at about 1 a.m. And that's really the first I knew of who they are. So the Catalina Whale Mixer, I've got a video AMA up for that. It went up about 12 hours. Was it 12 hours ago? It was my 3 a.m. and it's 9 p.m. now. So 18 hours ago, 1 Solana, minted out in 4 minutes. And the floor is 6 Solana at the moment. And they're basically going to be a release schedule of other NFTs as well, but they're going to be doing live mixer events, which in a world of COVID, you've got to think about as well. Is it going to happen? Look at Maps and Oxy for Solana. They're meant to be huge, but they did shit. But they got copped in, a Corona environment. So they're going to be doing.
Cock-blocked.
Yeah, well, the mixers actually sound good. They've got huge music backing, and I actually had a video crash and a computer crash, and I lost the first half of the AMA. So funny story on that, Metaverse. I'll talk to you later about that. If you record in FLV. And your computer crashes, you don't lose any of the data, you can recover it.
Oh, right. Okay, good to know.
So learnings from there, but heaps more to talk about quickly before we get into it. So that was one of the big launches this week. Obviously, I'll talk about other ones like Chainmyth and stuff like that, but remind me about that. I want to mention as well, we've still got the Solana Gaming channel, the research channel. We've got a lot of threads within the Solana Gaming channel, one about photo finish, one about AMAs. I list my NFTs and the coins that I've got a hold of. And new games research, where Sixon and Sergeant Savage are both helping out now doing research. If you guys have new projects you're not sure about, come in and link it for us. We don't spam the channel too much. We want to make it a clean channel where people can come in and get highlighted points if they want to link something cool, and we will try to get into that as quickly as possible. We want to be unearthing these games before they're launching NFTs. So that's super important, because we can get them to stage, we can ask, we can see how they're going. And potentially get prizes and stuff for our crowd as well. But, it's getting into these games early that is super cool. I do want to mention as well, we get the 2000 Grape every week. That's going to be for interactions. It's going to be for people coming on stage, talking, being immersed, asking our guests any particular questions. 2,000 Grape. So, for example, last week, Robin Mute got 1,000, but that was it. We didn't hand out any more than 1,000. The week before that, we had Tacky, Dynite, and I think it was Sergeant Savage answering questions on stage. So I'm always trying to get prizes and keep you guys immersed. And this week, we've got a massive week of AMAs coming up. I've got Step tomorrow morning in Grape. We've got Shoebox NFTs for them because they go to a live launch on Monday for their app. And with the shoeboxes that you can win on stage Sunday, you can actually start earning in-game currency from Monday. You will be the first to earn in-game currency in that. So it is play to earn immediately. Tuesday, I've got Eyes Per Chain. They're coming to stage. They've got playable beta at the moment, alpha I should say, and it's got 2 characters. You can fight a boss. Looks cool. I'll put a second video out for that tomorrow. It's actually playable. Anyone can download it. Eyes Per Chain. So they come Tuesday. Tuesday night, we've got Gamerplex. They're building like a gaming metaverse, so to speak. He's got 4 games on the list, an Australian builder out of Perth. And I've even had a chat. I've met and had a steak and beers with him in Perth, and I'm glad to get John back. And then Wednesday we've got Solana, plus we'll have a look at doing Rumble Worlds as well. At one stage we'll get Rumble Worlds in with 3 partners, but it's going to be a massive week. I'm going to have lots of prizes, lots of NFTs to hand out for Christmas, and that's what we want, like we want to come in, we want to give you guys extra prizes and stuff for coming along, but we've got to also make sure we're asking the questions that I might forget.
It sounds like a really bloody busy week. It's too much.
I've kind of stopped there. I've got other games. I want to bring Botborgs on. That's one that's caught my attention at the moment. Botborgs looks cool. Looks really, really fucking cool. Their Tank Capture the Flag game looks playable and good. They're building a metaverse of worlds and stuff, but I haven't deep dived them yet. But I want to bring them in and get them on stage early. How's your week with AMAs and stuff been, Meta?
It's been okay. I had one that was unfortunately called off due to COVID. We're rescheduling on that. We have another one with an NFT project coming up soon, and also another one with someone called Gabby, who is a trader at FTX. She works as a subsidiary company under FTX, but she just says FTX. So I've got those 3 lined up, and and if people have heard, I'm slowly starting to dwindle down the amount of AMAs I do, and starting to focus on the Solana alpha videos more. But that's all I have scheduled for until Christmas, I guess, and then New Year is a new year. We'll see.
And you released your Grape C-Class benefits this week, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Grape C-Class benefits videos was released. We're working on our next B-Class video. This says you can put in some input if you can, only if you are in the actual community creators channel and if you have access and can actually see it. And so we'll be filming that on the 20th, which is in about 2 days.
Yeah, just link that video down. I know we've got someone in stage. We've got Mr. Gundiver. He'll be keen to have a look at that and see what the fuck is Grape and what do we do and what's being a member benefit for.
Yeah, sure. It's nothing to do with friends with benefits, though. So if that's what you're thinking, no.
Well, it depends on the artwork. I've seen you spooning me and I've seen me doing things in the back car with you.
The car pitch changed sense otherwise.
All right, I'm going to link the announcement in the live chat question. So if anyone is interested, just go ahead and watch that.
I can't see our guest on stage at the moment, so we can get a few talk points over. We're going to go into Star Atlas at the end. Happy Man will be our talker tonight. I know it was 3:30 or 4 a.m. when he was talking to me before, and he was just going to have a lie down. So that could potentially end nasty for him. We'll see how that goes. They've just gone through their mint fork, knife, spoon. So we'll see if we can get into them. Lots and lots of news this week. Lots and lots of news. Every week we talk about being early in Solana, but so many different things. Do you know much about this fractal at the moment, Metaverse?
Not much, to be honest, but I know that they are having a giant airdrop, which has attracted some attention. Apart from that, not much else. Do you have any info?
No, I'd like to learn more, so I'll link the article, and I'm trying to find out more. I don't know what the airdrops. I don't even know what that's about. But Fractal are another marketplace, and they're coming to Solana first. That they want to be blockchain agnostic eventually, but you look at where they're starting, which is super fucking awesome for us. But we need better marketplaces at the moment. So they're very sporadic. They're very spread out because there's so many NFT projects within the games as well. And not every game that, you know, put air quotes in here, not every game that's proposed to be a game is an actual game. But a lot of these games, Rory, even Solana did one. Most games are going to be giving you additional airdrops, and you need to have these organised well. So I'm hoping that this is something this marketplace is going to do. Like, even have a look at Star Atlas, for example. Their marketplace has been dog shit since the beginning. They've not even been able to have a good, thorough coordination on their own main website of the correct order of the posters from the very beginning. You know, like, I'd like to see a lot more getting it all spaced out properly. And so it's easy to say, okay, I want to go to this game and I want accessories and click on those things. That would be nice to see if that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I'm just reading up on this NFT marketplace by Justin Kahn. It sounds like it's a good idea. We do have some more original marketplaces, as you did say, but nothing that's really, like, we don't have the open sea of Ethereum. We don't have that at the moment. Nothing is leading. If you want something, you go to Solana, maybe Magic Eden, maybe Digital Eyes if it's really obscure. But yeah, we do need like the King Daddy.
I reckon they picked the poor name for their project because you got Fractal and you got Fract. There's not much differentiation there.
Yeah, it is very close. That's what I first thought as well, was it was quite an awkward link.
They always rebrand anyway.
Yeah, just want to keep away from that Fract brand. They seem a bit dodgy over there.
Fract is dumped in price. Yeah, well, Fract is the co-founder for Fract was the leading founder of Wealth of Nations. That's right. So they've minted like 500 total, I think, which is awesome. I don't want to see them mint any. We need to do better, you know. Like, we're up here on stage. Actually, I think we did pretty well with them. We brought them to stage. I think we were at least polite enough with him to ask him about his questions, and the crowd got the general sense of just there's a lot of flags mentioned for that particular game.
They had some airdrops a few days ago though, but I still followed the Discord, just keeping an eye on it. But
yep,
it's very quiet.
Their airdrops are to people that already have bags of posters, though. So they're giving they're giving people with 10 or more posters, and this is meant to be a game that was developed 8 years of economic research, and they're putting all of the posters into 10 people. It's not how you make a game. No one's going to fucking play it because whales are going to control the game and the economics. So why would you want to play a game like that? It'll lead into Star Atlas talk as well. But you know, like, you want decentralized. I love the idea it's decentralized, but getting it in action is hard.
Like, I like the idea of the MVP of the game, but I personally think it's going to be a rug in the end.
Yeah, I saw this week Solanites. I don't know if anyone remembers them. I had them as my top 10 months ago, and then they had dramas and sort of the research came out. They've rugged.
Oh no, did they?
Yeah, that was expected though. The leader, their CEO, was absolutely full of shit. And the moment someone asked questions, you know, what's the legitimacy of these NFTs? Do we own them? He just went missing for like 5 days. Then came back when people had kind of calmed down and you know, started selling NFTs again. And I'm like, people just don't sort of get it. But other news to go.
This is a sad state.
Oh, it's
sad state of affairs.
We've got to look after each other, and this is where, you know, I hope that we do a good job of that, you know, analysing our stuff. We don't want to just shill shit blindly. Obviously, we talk about projects we've bought because they interest us. So you've got to always think, is it good advice? Is it not? Question them. And even if you think we're talking shit, you know, like I've talked to people, I've said it on multiple videos now, I'm actually getting paid by Step N to do their AMAs every week on stage. But I want to make sure I keep myself honest in this space, and I've put it out there to mention that. And you know, if people think that I'm just saying what they want, then they can go and have a look at my first AMA when I talk to them about people's privacy and data and information. You know, like, I'm here to be in the space and hopefully be a good source of information.
As do we all. We want to be purveyors of trustworthy information.
Yeah, we're not always going to get it right. I think sometimes I'm hard on myself, and even you, Metaverse, you know, like, we're never going to get it right. But DeFi Land, they've got a big one this week.
Yeah, I know.
So, talking of actual games coming live this week, is going to be DeFi Land's going to be one of them. So they'll go open beta around the 20th, I believe it is. That's also Step In. They go open beta on the 20th. Cryo Wars in closed beta at the moment. I've just put my 4th video up today for that. Eyes Per Chain's live alpha, and there was one other one. Chain Myth. They go a closed alpha this month as well. Hopefully we get Sergeant Savage. And I did ask him whether we can get a couple of other people on that one.
Looks like Christmas time is the time of get metaverse tokens, at least on Solana anyway.
Yeah, there's heaps, isn't there? Like, what can we actually monitor metaverse tokens with? So at the moment, I use TradingView, but what's a better system?
Just make a custom list on TradingView. That's a really good one. You know, the general metaverse tokens are through CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap through their metaverse categories. But really, the term metaverse is way too broad, and people are calling themselves metaverse when they're not actually not. People, as you say, people calling themselves games when they're not actually games. So it's a mix and match of everything. I think you have to make your own decision on if this is a metaverse.
Yeah, it's the same as first play to earn game on Solana. First move to earn,
really.
And all of these things. And there's more terms coming out that you just go first this, first that. Well, I mean, sure, okay, maybe they are, but is it a playable game? Has it got a demo?
Yeah. If it doesn't work, who cares?
That's it. So talking about working, but yeah, that's cool. Our guest is still probably sleeping. Other launches I want to talk that went successful this week. Chain Myth, they had their 3,750. We had Zoe come last week and have a chat to us again. Unfortunately, I couldn't upload the results due to me errors. But they had 10,000 requests in an hour or something. They sold out. They sold out within seconds. 1.2 Solana, that's sitting at about 2.5 on Solana. That, I think, is going to be a cool first quarter game, potentially. We want to see games.
I want to see games to play. We're waiting.
Bit Brawler, they had a big one this week. They launched 10,000 units. I don't even know what price they launched it at. I need to go and have a look. But they've got a playable game, apparently. It looked very much like a Donkey Kong style platform game to me, and because I was super busy, I didn't manage to actually get a look in at it. But backed by a millionaire, apparently, and all of the money they've made, they're going to be putting into the game. And it wasn't one I was sad to miss, but there is a lot of hype on that. And 10,000 mints in 10 minutes was a good result for Solana. There's been a lot of projects minting out this week, particular, and then there's been a lot that have been struggling still. But it looks positive on some, and the good projects are still building and being, I think, analysed a bit better. People are studying before they just ape in.
Yeah. We're maturing a bit more, because once you have, it's like a variety apathy. When you have so much choice, you don't know what to go with. You have to actually make a conscious decision and do your research before you actually go into a new NFT ecosystem to see if you can actually do something here. People are wising up.
And you got to realize that 90% of these NFT games are scams, and I'm never going to make it to the light of day. So
yeah.
Do your research.
What do you call that? A slow rug, don't you?
Slow rug, long rug, whatever I just call it a fucking scam.
I don't want to call 90% of them scams, but you've got to believe games take years to produce, and if games are coming in, they're selling $5-6 million of public raises, and like shit. You see IDOs. Aurora did $108 million in 3 days of raising. Like there is massive money. People want to play. Obviously, I believe that game will go ahead. That'll probably be one of our biggest games, closest to Axie for Solana, I think. I haven't heard when they're launching yet, so it mustn't be December. But yeah, I think 90% of games will likely slow rug. So they just won't build out, or they'll take time, or they'll have errors. There's a huge demand on developers in this space.
The market goes bare, and their tokens are worth shit, and they haven't cashed up enough.
Yeah, like there's if you think about it, some of these projects accrue Solana tokens. And if we go into a small mini bear market such as we have now, they probably started with a really nice, healthy treasury when Solana was 300 Australian dollars. Now it's about, 180, maybe 200 or something. So they've really reduced their runway by like 1/3. This is what happens when people don't do proper treasury management.
Yeah, and even at Grape, they talk about this on a weekly basis. Like they've got to manage the treasury at Grape, and they talk about whether they hold the Solana, whether they hold NFTs. This all comes into your personal usage as well. Like I've spent almost 100 Solana on games over the last 3 months of my process of times. The money only goes so far. Like I've got to actually try and sell some things. I was happy to sell a Soul Chick. That I sold that for that, but I may end up having to sell one or two other NFTs to be able to continue to buy NFTs. You've got to balance. You've got to manage your own funds and your books. Like you can't keep putting into games that you're going to be sitting on for years.
And I think that's super important that people need to realize. You physically can't have enough time to dedicate to all of these other games and all of these other NFTs that you have. You're just holding them as a speculative play. And sure, if it's speculative, make sure you keep your eye on it and sell at the right time that you want. But no way you're going to have enough time to play all of these games and these NFTs. So it might be worthwhile to consolidate, so at least you can have a higher stake in a specific game or a few specific games that you're going to follow very carefully.
Yeah.
A bit of advice.
Absolutely. Like I've bought 15 or something games, and Metaverse has knocked it on the head. Look, if I want to play Star Atlas 6 hours a day, how am I going to play 15 games? You've really got to work out. So do you take do you take profit? Do you make sure you're staying in front? Like we all had a bit of a heartache with Star Atlas over the last month, and people had to make those decisions. Did they cash out or keep going? Yeah, so definitely work out what's your limit.
Is that our segue into Star Atlas?
No, almost. I was going to get. We're just getting a message out for KnifeForkSpoon.
He's teasing us, doesn't he, Meta?
I do. Hey, don't I do that well?
So much to talk about.
There is a couple more highlights I wanted to go over because I'd love to talk about photo finish later in the stage and actually have some good discussion on that. But the suites, just while I'm touching on photo finish, the suites. I'll get a link for that. Have you heard of that one, Metaverse?
Yeah, this is the. All I saw was a picture with like the really fancy door. Is that it?
That's it.
It's going to be the metaverse.
Yeah.
Hey, for photo finish. So it's going to be basically, think of the races. When you go to the races, they've got all these booths and they've got all these offices and stuff. But you go and get the tickets. You'll have the
VIP
open
areas.
tracks. Yeah, and they're just going to be. Think of it similar to Portals. Like Portals has come out where there are a whole heap of buildings within a whole heap of rooms, apartments within a building. It's going to be similar. And this is working on real estate. I think photo finish would be a massive game for Solana. The floor's still low. There's still a chance to have a look at getting a utility NFT. They might not be as good for breeding. But I bought another floor stud this week. I bought 2 this week, I think. I bought the missus a stud for Christmas, and that got a filly, luckily enough. But we'll talk about that definitely. So the suites was one that was dropped. There's only 1,500 on their Twitter. So that looks like a good potential for something that might be able to buy/flip. Now, I don't want to be talking about the buying and flips as much, but, I've got to try to get the crowd something as well at the same time. I think this would be good. If the game is very successful, which it should be going Q1, then this metaverse will be usable straight away. Have a look at Portals. Portals are looking to open, I think, metaverse the 26th. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. But, as you know, I always keep a one eye open. They always give a date, and that date usually doesn't turn out well.
Yeah, they've said that they'd planned to utilise the full month, but they might come out Boxing Day. And I'll be doing one for Solana Gaming. All the people and crew that we've had come along, donate to stage, all those kinds of things. I want to put a room together of those and have links to their projects, and that's something that's pretty cool for along the way for me. But that's the suites. And DFA Academy was another one I wanted to touch on.
Oh yes, great work with that, by the way. If anyone who hasn't heard, Barndog's initiative has turned out really fruitful.
So I've linked their YouTube out, and I mean it's not my initiative, but yeah, it is. Like I've managed to get it with Grape, so we've donated. We made an application to the DAO, and we got $550 to DFA, and they've bought their first mobile phone. So to put it in context, for them to be able to buy that phone in Nigeria would be 2 to 3 months of work for a full-time adult. And then to be able to buy a game would be more money on top of that. So it's just not something that they would be able to do. And this is a DFA teaches kids how to play soccer. There's some great videos on there. He put out a really good video. It's a 3-4 minute video on them unpackaging the phone. Unpackaging. Isn't that a fucking... there's a massive YouTuber for that, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a whole industry of just unpacking stuff in a nice aesthetic way.
But think of a soccer team. I'll say soccer, football, but, you know, I think of soccer on a green pitch. These guys play in just a dirt fucking patch, you know, like, this is going to be game-changing for them. And the first company this is one of the reasons why I've linked up with them is Step N, is that they've donated an NFT to them, and they'll give them one NFT for each phone we get them. So they're going to be able to earn money from Monday actually training in their soccer. So when they're training 4 times a week, they'll be able to earn in-game currency and then convert that into either more sneakers, upgrading their sneakers, or potentially making money. So when the average worker earns $6 to $10 a day, US, I'm hoping something really fucking awesome for them. So I'm pretty proud to be able to have a chance of it. But, you know, DFA, the man behind it, he's got to manage it all. He's got to store that phone, make sure it doesn't get damaged, stolen. You know, we talked about it earlier.
For goats.
Well, this is the thing. They're a Nigerian soccer team, and we had them on stage here, you know, like we actually did have them on stage, and we talked about that side of it, you know, like how hard is it to get donations when you're a Nigerian team? And it's the common fucking phone scandal. You've got Nigerian scandals all the time on the news.
It is hard, but I have faith. We've talked to him, and the initiative is just such a pure, generous initiative that it just makes me feel wholesome that we've been able to do this.
Web 3.0, man. Like, this is fucking amazing. And these kids play soccer, but they'll make money while they're playing soccer and eventually get them a computer game. Like I wrote in the article on Discord, these are kids too, you know. These aren't grown adults. They're children. So I first thought trying to get them into the FIFA event we did, and that was a big eye-opener for me, you know. Like, I live in Australia all my life. We can go and make money in the mines and get tattoos and grow beards. That's what we do as miners. And we can earn money all our life, but these kids don't have those opportunities, and they couldn't actually get to a PlayStation with power safely to be able to attend the FIFA tournament. And I'm like, wow, I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, man. People in Western countries, we always take things for granted. Speaking as an African who grew up in Africa.
But we've talked long enough. Happy Man has finally woken up. We've almost on time today. We've powered through all of our talk points.
Yeah, 30 minutes. Look at that.
Fucking powering. Welcome to stage, Happy Man. How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you going?
Just waking up.
He's still sleeping.
Can you guys hear it?
Oh, yeah. Is it 5 a.m. for you?
It's 4:30 in the morning now. Oh, yeah.
Mate, congratulations.
I really tried.
Yeah, congratulations
I tried to
first
stay
for coming to stage, but 4:30 a.m. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I think I probably slept a combined of 11 hours now this week. It's a couple all-nighters and got a decent 4 hours before midday. But yeah, just keep hustling, keep going, and sleep when I'm dead, I guess, eh?
Keep hustling. Is that what NFTs are?
Yep.
Hustle and bustle?
That's what it is for us.
So, a little bit of context. Happy Man is one of the co-founders. Yeah, Happy Man?
Yes, yeah, one of 4 founders.
Yep, so one of 4 founders for KnifeForkSpoon NFT. They've just finished their mint. They not cancelled. They stopped the mint early, didn't sell out, and I do want to get into that. But KnifeForkSpoon, you guys have got a game that's playable. I've had a look at the demo. So I've done the links. The Twitter's linked. The website's probably the better one to go to, because if you load up the website, you'll see straight on the opening screen, there's 3 trailers. And you guys have been super busy over socials over the last probably 2 to 3 weeks that I've really noticed. I just was behind myself in work and I couldn't get into study properly. and I got in and had a look this week and unfortunately missed you before your live mint. I did mint one this morning and I'll go and find that and show people. But do you want to just say a little bit about yourself and KnifeForkSpoon? Happy man.
Yeah. So I'm one of the founders, but the thing that I'm focusing on is marketing. We have 2 developers, 1 team head, and myself on the founding team. The reason we came out with KFS is we wanted to make a difference in the Solana space. There was a lot of rugs and just a lot of people taking advantage of other people, and we're 4 people who are very passionate about the Solana space. So instead of complaining about it, we decided to do something. We went to work and we started building an NFT. And the biggest thing that we were promising was to promise utility before minting. So we decided to. That was our motto. We're not going to ask for a single dollar from anybody until we have something ready to play, and that's our mini game that's already here. When it comes to the mint not selling out, our main focus was our community and taking care of the people that we want. We intentionally didn't want people to just ape into this project. We wanted it to be very exclusive and very unique in the state that our community has built this NFT with us every step of the way. So when we mint, we only have the strongest people having it, and for us to build something amazing, we really have a strong community to do that now. So when we're building this Mario Party Solana. What it's going to look like is we're going to integrate other projects into our platform, and they're going to be able to plug and play. And each NFT holder has a chance at the weekly prize pools. These will be split amongst several hundred people, depending on how the teams are built. For now, with the dinner party, other NFT projects will be able to plug and play into these, adding another layer of utility to their own NFT project. I feel like I've talked for hours now. Any questions from you guys?
So my initial question here, I'm just on your website here. So you've done your mint, not a full release, which is sometimes happens in the ecosystem now. We've got great projects that don't finish their mints because the market is a bit tired. So you have a mini game already. Is the mini game live at the moment?
So the mini game it's live and playable. It's just not until the 23rd
Right.
that it plays. So we wanted a utility that's going to be fun, but also effective because people want to make money. What the dinner party is it's our first mini game that we came out with. Essentially, you build a team in a rock paper scissors parody. Knife beats fork beats spoon, and spoon beats knife. And then rarity also taken into account for a slight increase. If you go into game mechanics, you can see it listed there. So basically, you make the main idea of this game is you make the teams that you're making. So we have channels in our Discord. Everybody's talking already. The first dinner party is going to be on the 23rd. So that'll be when the game is actually playing.
Yep.
It'll so when the teams are all made and stuff like that, they go into an RNG roll against each other.
And when you say teams that people are already getting together, are you talking about the party sizes here that you have on the website? And can you tell us a bit more about the modifier or the debuff? Is this just to simply stop a lot of people from zerging everyone else? Can this happen?
Yeah, exactly. So we have a few modifiers on there. The counter modifier, which is like the rock paper scissors parody. We have the battle modifier, which is like the rarity of the NFT that you have, and then the Zerg modifier, which is so when you build a bigger team, if possible, so a team of 30, I'll still have a decent chance against a team of 3. So we added a Zerg modifier. There are some sweet spots in there, but for the most part, it should be fairly balanced. We've done a lot of research into this Zerg modifier, so it should be fairly balanced moving forward. But we're going to make changes as we need to any game moving forward.
Awesome. And so, so you have a small ecosystem happening here. Where does the actual token come into play? Because you do have a token, is that right?
Yeah, so we don't have a token yet. We have planned for a token. The only difference between us and other projects with tokens is we don't have a use for a token
Yep.
yet. So with our Spoonverse is what we're calling it. That'll be the Mario Party of Solana that we're building. There's going to create a demand to play these mini games. When there is demand for these mini games, it'll demand its own ecosystem, and only then is when we'll relaunch our token. When there's
that's pretty good good thinking there, because we do have a lot of projects that launch a token out of nowhere with not much utility. So it's really nice to see a project that's actually thinking a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Everything we've done thus far has been to move forward, and we've planned everything carefully because we want to make sure that we're thinking 5 steps ahead. But yeah, so if there's no demand for a token, I really don't see any use for one. So we will create one, and there will be demand with the token with the Spoonverse. It's just going to happen. We just have to create our mini games, onboard those projects. Another thing is what's going to happen with this demand for the token is each project that we're onboarding in the Solana space is actually going to be paying like an onboarding fee and licensing.
Yep.
All those profits from the Spoonverse are actually cycled back into KFS holder prize pools. So it's eventually going to perpetuate itself into something quite large, and we're excited to get started in that direction.
Nice. You have some mini games already planned. Fictionary, Knife-Orang, Tug of War, Java Jump. Some of these are just plays on already existing games. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. These were actually put to vote by our community. Our community put a list of them in our Discord. You can find it. Game voting. We had like overwhelming ones that we chose to do first. So those are the first 5 that we'll be going with.
Right. I wonder, do you have a favorite game yourself?
I actually get asked this a lot, but I have no idea. I honestly think Knife-Orang will probably be one of the funnest, because I really like that Mario Party game where you're on an island and you have to like bump each other off the island and stuff. So
right on.
Knife-Orang
That's
will
some
be
fun.
close to that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just reading through the white paper if I can. Sorry, and anyone could free to jump in and ask some questions.
I've got heaps of questions.
Do have sorry, you go. Go.
You go, Eggy. You go
I just
first.
want to know what kind of potential. Right, what kind of potential earnings can you earn in KnifeForkSpoon when you're battling it out?
What potential earnings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually have essentially what it's going to go down to is that if there's like, let's say 10 teams, and each of them are 300 people, then like we're going to pay it out to the top teams. So let's say we paid it out to the top 4 teams. It's going to be on a percentage base is what we're doing. So the winner of the first dinner party get a bigger portion of the pie. Our prize pool right now is $9,500 for the first week. And then what's building that is royalties and money from the Spoonverse. But so $9,500 will be distributed amongst the top people kind of charting down. The first place team will get obviously the biggest chunk. Second place smaller, and down to probably about 4 teams, sorry. Each of these teams can be up to 300 people.
And does it cost anything to battle?
No, it doesn't cost anything to battle as long as you own an NFT. It's essentially the reason we did this is there's a lot of like legal issues in the Solana space right now with NFTs and paying out. The reason we did this is because we spoke to some lawyers, and the best way for us to move forward without hitting a legal roadblock was to pay out in this way. This is why we're going to be listed on FTX Studios. or FTX trading, and it's why we're not going to be halted like some of the other NFTs that you may be aware of.
Yeah,
we did full due
Solarians.
diligence into the legality of it.
So is
Yeah.
that's the magical way behind it, is it? So you just don't charge an entry for the game, and then it can come from there.
It's kind of so it's not really about charging, because when you go to I'm sorry, my brain is mush after everything this week. Just for anybody knows that we had our live mint on the 16th, and our team is all just working their butts off since day one. So but with the sorry, there's like a I can't think of the word right now. If I had my computer in front of me, I'd be able to. But basically, there's a law about ticketing, and you're not able to charge somebody an entry fee when there's a random selection of a winner. But what we have around that is it is somewhat random. However, you're actually putting work into building your team, so it's skill based. It's like the prize pool of a game versus the prize pool of a lottery. You can't charge people to enter in your. You can't charge people to enter in your lottery privately. Like it's an entirely.
So it's a
different
question
thing.
of like luck versus skill-based, kind of merit-based system.
Yeah, exactly. Like we wanted it to be so like anybody who owns an NFT will be able to partake in this dinner party. But the difference is, and like obviously you have to buy an NFT for that. But the difference is you have to actually be on a team, and it's a strategic. That's the strategic part about it. So it's not completely random. But if you own one and you don't want to do all the work of like building a team or joining one, you can simply stake your NFT and it gets placed on a team automatically with other people that have done the same thing.
I've got an easier question for you. At the start, you've got a lore video there, which is based around the knife, forks, and spoons having a magical cheese grater as their deity that they worship and keeps control. How many bongs did you guys smoke to be able to come up with the storyline to the whole thing?
Oh man, yeah, that was a really fun one. We weren't going to be anything to do with lore. When we launched, it was a different time in the Solana space. Things were minting out for 3 to 5 Sol, and they had nothing but lore going for them. So we had a big majority of our people came in, and they were like, "Hey, like, can we get some lore?" So we went to work, and we Tokenot. I won't take any credit for this for the lore, because him and one of our community leaders, Oracle, and another community member, Deathwish, they just kind of went to work and wrote out a bunch of lore, and that's what they came out with. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen the lore video, I definitely recommend checking it out, because it's
all of the
super,
videos are worth
tongue-in-cheek.
watching. Yeah, like that's. I didn't look at you guys because you see the name Knife Fork Spoon, and I'm an old traditional gamer, so you see that and you think, well, fuck, I haven't got time. I'll just forget about it and look later. And eventually, I've gone and had a look at the videos, and I've gone, fuck, they're really good. You've done really well with the videos.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, KnifeForkSpoon is probably like one of the hardest logos to market with, for people to know what you're doing. We just did a little bit of a rebranding. We made our color a little bit more towards what we're doing, and we added a little game controller. So now it's actually gained quite a bit of traction from people who see kind of what we're doing now. And
I had a question.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
I had a question regarding your legendaries as well. So is that the pictures that float that you've got on your website, all the different characters? Like there was a Baby Yoda, there's a Pokemon, a Matrix one. Are they the legendaries?
Yeah, those are the legendaries. So there's 42 in the entire collection.
Yeah, so just for people, for context, obviously, we know a little bit more, is that the legendaries were kept and you've burnt the rest. So you plan on utilising those down the track, I'm guessing, for partnerships or potentially prizes.
Yeah, exactly. We definitely didn't want to get rid of any of the legendaries. But yeah, with the collection we have right now, we're keep releasing to keep things balanced, obviously, for our mini game, as that's going to be important, and then the rarity of the NFTs is important for the battle modifiers. But yeah, we're definitely keeping the legendaries as they're unique and special, and we put a lot of work into making each one.
Yeah, the artwork on those is amazing as well. So let's talk numbers then. You guys have minted, you've culled some of them. What was the blockchain mint? So how many knives, forks, and spoons? What was the percentage? Did
Like
were they roughly 30% each? 33% each?
Yeah, they're fairly balanced. We are going to be, like I said, we're going to be putting some more out there, just to keep things balanced and make sure there's an even number of each. But they are fairly balanced at the moment. We actually got we were planning on not having as many out minted as we did when we closed, but we had an influx of people come in at the last second. Funny enough, and when they came in, they kind of bumped the numbers up quite a bit. So we had an idea, and then we're just gauging that moving forward. We got a couple long days ahead of us for sure, dealing with all that. But
I want to make sure if there's any questions from the crowd, please ask in channel. Put your hand up. You guys, they're talking on the minting. So I've always worked on the theory that you need bums in seats to get any game working. You want bums in seats. You want those players, and you want those crowds coming in to then grow and get more, more eyes on that and continue to grow. But you guys have chosen to stop the mint early. And you're happy with that decision, which is ultimately very awesome. But I don't understand that. I'd love to know a little bit more about why cull the mint. Wouldn't it be better to leave that mint open for a little bit longer? Try to get more people in that might be keen to buy that.
yeah, it's so basically, I might sound a little bit rude here, but we saw it as an opportunity that we have a lot of really strong. If you come in our Discord, you'll see we have the strongest community, I think, in the entire
50 people bought the first 500, so it was an average of 10 per wallet.
Yeah, and then we're split just less than. Might have to put my foot in my mouth here, but I think the whole collection right now that's minted out is between 200 wallets or so. So we decided that we're always going to be building, no matter what. And I think one of the things with these other NFTs that have to sell out and stuff is minting is the biggest thing that they build towards. That's not at all what KFS is doing. The biggest thing that we're building towards is the future, and it's always going to be. So with that being said, we're not really worried about selling out or making a big like mess on the Solana space and having influencers plug us and going all over the place. It was important to get the people that we have now, and we're more than happy for the exclusive people that we have because they're outstanding community members. But as we continue to grow and as we continue to develop, there's no doubt in any of our minds nor our community's minds that KFS is going to make a huge statement to the Solana space about what we're capable of and what is possible in the Solana space.
I like it. That's an awesome answer. Metaverse, have you got any other questions?
I've got one. Slipped my mind just then. Is it free to play? Say if you don't have an NFT, can you just jump on and play it for free?
As that stands, so with the mini games and stuff like that, none of it will be accessible to play without owning an NFT of either us or one of the projects that we're onboarding. So good news and bad news with that is if there might be a chance if you've minted other NFTs. We're in talk with quite a few bigger names right now. We've we're moving forward with one project that we've discussed it with, and then we're planning on having 12, at the very least, in 6 months onboarding it. But so yeah, you won't have access to these mini games unless you're one of the projects that's onboarded or own a KFS.
So really, you're building a metaverse yourself then?
Yeah, essentially. As we want it to be exclusive for the prize pools too. So all these mini games are obviously going to be fed by these prize pools, and it would mess things up with the prize pools if we allowed anybody to play as well. It opens up a lot of doors that would make a lot of things more difficult for us and our community.
And if people want to now have a look, what marketplace they're looking at to go and purchase?
Yeah, people are we're looking at Magic Eden and FTX right away here.
So what generates income for you guys to be able to give out the coins? Because if you're not paying to entry into these games, how do you generate your coins to give to the players?
So the prize pools are going to be coming from 100% of the profits from Spoonverse. So just to reiterate that, the Spoonverse will have projects onboarded onto it. They pay a onboarding fee,
Yep.
and then they also pay like a monthly licensing fee. 100% of those profits are put into prize pools for either that project as well as KFS holders or simply KFS holders, depending on what they choose that Solana NFT decides to do. Approximately half of all royalties will be put back into KFS prize pools as well from secondary markets. The reason I say half is to move forward with these games, costs for say like the community voted and they want another developer. We have 2 developers already. All of our timelines released is based on our current capability. We are planning on hiring some developers, was our plan with the 30/30 release amounts. Our community is discussing that right now, whether we want to bring on another developer to be able to move forward at a faster pace or not. So that's why if some costs may change depending on, but it's always going to be around approximately half of royalties back into the KFS prize pools.
So it's funny that the competitions is actually a chance of play to earn, because a lot of the models that you see coming out is you've got to pay a certain amount of Solana to enter a game and a competition to have a chance to win a purse, whereas you guys it's all free to enter these comps, and you've got a business model there that has the funds coming back into the system.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like you're picking it up pretty well. Is once this ball start, the reason we're not worried about people aping in and like a huge amount of people seeing us and minting is because when this ball starts rolling, as you've said yourself, is it's going to start perpetuating itself into something massive. It just is going to build into, it's going to get huge, and then as well as the Spoonverse with the projects we're onboarding and that money going into these pockets is the demand for our NFTs is gonna grow.
I just had a quick look at Magic Eden then and couldn't see it on the marketplace. I was curious to see whether there's been legendaries have sold prices. You know, it's funny, some of the big numbers you see NFTs trading very early on a lot of the flipping NFT projects.
Yeah, I've no doubt with our community. We're very close with all of our community. We interact with them. We're in a voice chat every day. People pop in, talk to us. I'm eager to see how things go in the secondary market. I know a lot of people that are backing this. That we're going to grow. The floor is going to go up, and we don't really have any floor talk other than that.
Yeah, it's a funny thing as a gamer. If you're going to hold the project, you know very quickly whether people are there to hold the projects or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've spoken to probably 70%, like personally spoken to 70% of our holders one-on-one, and just had a conversation with them at some point in the Discord voice chat. So
Well, you can
we definitely know a lot of them see the vision that we have.
you can add another percentage to that because you've had a chat to us tonight.
Yeah, exactly. We'll bump it up to a nice 75.
Why not?
Some whales.
That's awesome. I'm into one just to have a look. I like to see some of the projects and see what they're minting at, like the process. And the mint was smooth for me. I saw the talk that you potentially would stop it early, and I wasn't sure whether it would be available tonight. So for people that are curious, the mint is completely finished. That's it. So the only way to get anything now entry is going to be via the secondary market, Magic Eden. I have no crowd questions in the crowd. No hands up. Did you have anything else you wanted to have a chat about, Happy? Just mention before you go.
Yeah, just I guess one thing is we're the reason we weren't worried about minting out is you're going to see us, and we're going to be all over the place eventually, and that's a promise. So keep an eye on us, and when we are massive, anybody who isn't buying in on secondary markets, you're definitely going to get some FOMO within the next few months here. That's
It's funny because I left you guys at the start to research. You know, like there was a stage over 60 to 70 projects to research on Solana, and I just obviously can't do that as one person. So I left it because of the name, based purely on the name. I thought this is silly, and didn't bother. But you know, this week I've managed to have a look because I was doing a video and had a spot to fill, and I've seen you guys active in the space in Twitter very, very much, and I thought, fuck, I'll have a look. And yeah, I was impressed with the video straight away, and then I touched base and being able to talk to developers, and this is what I love about Solana as well, is that you guys are happy to talk and you're keen to build on Solana and actually make those community developments and actually fucking be a part of the community. So, no, I wish you guys best of luck. I'll keep mine. I've got a knife. So what did knife beat?
it will beat forks. So if you're ever like wondering about what beats what, I still use this trick. Granted, I'm tired right now, so I needed it. But KFS is just in the order of what beats what. So
Knife beats fork, fork beats spoon. Yeah, I like it. Cool.
Yeah.
Mine's got like Madonna tits on it, like the old what was that song of? That's the 1990s, 80s.
Like a virgin.
Yeah, like a virgin. That's it. You can
gotta
tell we're
get it.
old dudes.
I've never heard this song before.
Touch for the very first time.
You've heard it. Sixton's had one or two extra billies tonight.
I'm at work, so none for me.
Yeah, no. The artwork was amazing. You know, obviously, as a minting is awesome. Like that experience of can I get a winner? Can I get a winner? It is, you know, taking a gamble at the same time. But yeah, I don't know whether mine's rare or not. I'll keep it. But cheers for coming on, Happy. If we've got no more questions, we'll probably pump into the rest of our night. But hopefully you can get back to sleep and get yourself some much deserved rest after a long mint.
Thank you very much, Happy Man. I will be keeping a close eye on you guys. Contrary to Barndog, I do think sometimes the simplest ideas are the easiest to catch on. So I would definitely keep an eye on you guys.
Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
No, dude.
worries,
Cheers
mate.
for coming.
Good luck with the rest of it.
Yeah, I'll give my team hell for not getting up at 4 a.m. for.
You guys should have come to Grape last week. Honestly, we don't get enough traction here. You know, like I love to unearth you guys before you mint. It's unfortunate, obviously, we don't have the time to completely research. Sixon and Sergeant Savage have now started helping me with the research, so to get it out there and see these teams coming out early.
Yeah.
But that's all a part of your plan, and you spoke about that too, which is good. You've got a strong 200 plus community.
Yeah, we're definitely we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. I'm very happy to be moving forward, and I'm excited to show everybody. And every startup I've been a part of or anything I've done, it's always been I'll prove the world wrong. So. This is it's been that since day one for us with the Solana space, and just how it's taken a turn towards people losing trust and lack of trust in the developers, or whether it's the project is legitimate or not, or anything like that. So that I genuinely believe that when we do build this Spoonverse with these projects that we're building it with, it's just going to bring the rest of Solana space together, closer and stronger because of it.
I love it, dude. Good vibes. Good vibes. Cheers for coming on, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. You guys have a good morning.
You go to sleep.
Yeah, you go back
Yeah.
to sleep.
No
I'll
worries,
keep going
mate. Take
with my rums.
Okay. Yeah, talk to you guys soon. Ciao.
Cheers, mate.
Ciao.
Let's that was cool. I'm disappointed we didn't get him last week, and yeah, but this is the Grape
project
wheel.
looks way better than
Yeah.
I thought when I first saw the name too.
The
Like, I
videos,
actually like
don't the
pictures.
videos look fucking awesome?
Yeah, they've done a good job, I think.
That fucking the intro to the battle scene at the dinner table, that was awesome. That sold me, and that's why I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, do you want to come on stage and just say hello? What was I going to go with? Yeah, the research. So as a good, yes, just about. But if just as a reminder, if there's anybody that wants to help at Grape doing content of anything, whether you want to be a fucking writer, a designer, whether you want to do videos, whether you want to research, help us in this space of Solana, Grape is always hiring as well. So don't forget, every project out there, they want people to play these games, they want people to be in their communities, do meme contests, do these. Grape needs that too, you know, like we have a shitload of contests here all the time. We have a lot of activity going around, and you can earn roles by doing work. So I am a community creator, Metaverse is a community creator, Sixon has been onboarded as a community creator. This is his second month. From coming on stage and talking shit with me about games, you know, and Metaverse. You know, the three of us come on stage and talk about Solana gaming every week. And so just a reminder, anybody wants to come out, hit me up, hit Metaverse up. We're always keen to talk. We are always keen to onboard more people to help us at Grape.
Yes, we are. Grape is hiring.
You like that plug, Meta?
I love it.
Let's fucking do it. Star Atlas. Big week.
Oh, yeah, guys. Big week. Star Atlas. I've got some little things to share with people, but I'll let you take the floor.
Is that what the missus said? You've got little things? So the biggest news for the week, because obviously we've got 5 more ships coming up in Shiptember or Ship December. What are they? Shipmas.
Yeah, Shipmas.
Shipmas. But the big one is the score is finally fucking here. And
Hallelujah.
I had several rums. I had an early knock yesterday afternoon, and holy fuck, it was confusing because the airdrops didn't get airdropped. You had to go and collect the drops. That's what fucked me.
So it was basically like a serum market. You had to go and settle the transaction. You had to go and settle it.
Yeah, and for anybody that needs a video, Metaverse has got one on his YouTube. Links up in Discord. In Discord in the live channels. I put a short video up of me and my drunken adventures trying to do it. There's several other videos out there. If you're confused, have a look, because it's not too hard to do in the end once you've had a little bit of experience. But when you're playing crypto games and money's involved, use protection. You know, like I wish I did. I'm still paying child support later in life, but use that protection. Be safe with your money. Always make sure you know what you're doing with that money. So Metaverse put a good video up for it. Sixon's going to make a joke about my kids now.
No, I was going to behave. But if you're having trouble claiming your shit, go to Step Finance and claim it through Step. It makes it so much easier, because I had a few dramas trying to claim my Amos wallets.
You used to bag the shit out of me for Step. You're like, I'll never use Step.
It's fucking great, man. I love it.
Tides have changed.
So the staking is there, and it is quite simple, but it's also quite complex at the same time. And I'm actually super impressed. This is my second day with it today. It's a clean system, and a lot more than I expected for their score generation 0, tier 0.
I would totally agree there. The UI is very clean. The interface is great. And it makes me think that they actually did take the extra time to make it that little bit tinier, better. Wouldn't you agree?
You keep saying you got small things, tiny things.
Oh, man. I got to move away from this way of talking.
So I am going to link a couple of highlights now of the ships that I've got staked. You've got a bigger one than me, though, when it comes to this Metaverse. You got more ships.
Yeah, not that much bigger. The people I roam with in my guild, man, they have some big ships.
Yeah, my sugar daddy, he's not online at the moment. Well, actually, my second sugar daddy's here. Old Gundiver. He's going to be getting into it too, finally. But let's have a quick... I'll let you hold the floor on this one because it is actually pretty simple to understand. There's 4 things, the 4 R's: refeed, refuel, rearm, and repair. So when it comes into it, you need to do all 4 of those items. But do you want to have a quick chat about that, Metaverse, and I'll duck off to the toilet?
Yeah, sure. Okay, everyone. So the basic idea is that you have your ships. They were non-productive before, but now they produce Atlas. The way this works is that you are lending your ships to the faction that you are aligned with, either Urster, Mad, or humans. So basically, this is an overall kind of a staking system. They don't care what ship you have, what it can do, how powerful it is. It doesn't matter. You just give them your ship, and you earn a static Atlas reward for your ships. Now, once you stake these ships, they actually do have resources of which you have to replenish. So the resources are health, fuel, food, and ammo. Now, everyone was actually airdropped fuel, food, and ammo, but no one was airdropped any toolkits. This is because all the ships start out at 100% health. So all you have to do is actually click on the faction fleet on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, go to the ship enlistment, and it just recognizes what ships you have. You can enlist your ships, how many of them they have, and fill up what resources you want to put into this ship. And of course, at the beginning, if you go and buy, by the way, if you go and buy a ship on the market right now, you will not have any resources. You have to go and purchase these resources yourself. But not to worry, the resources are actually really, really, really cheap. So far, there's actually been some developments behind the scenes of what's happening. There is a lot of reward happening here. The ROI is really good for these ships. Some of them are mostly 10% ROI. There used to be 100 to 200% ROI floating around, but we have some people coming around with Excel spreadsheets. And we can tell at the moment that the Ogrica Thripid is probably the most profitable ship at the moment. And we are not the only ones to figure this out because the Ogrica Thripid is now at a 76% premium above its original price. It used to sell at 8.5K. Now it sells for $15,000.
Did also sell for $23,000 at one stage, so maybe they're trying to reimburse the people that got stuck with that.
Probably. But that's their fault. They shouldn't have bought it way above MSRP.
No, I disagree. That was poor information from Star Atlas at that stage. That was very bad information.
The OPOD as well as, and so the way this is working just behind the scenes. So these players have their ships. They're already staking this. They get massive amounts of Atlas that's being accrued to them right now. Now the resources you have to buy is tiny in comparison. It's super, super small. So what are people actually doing with all the Atlas that they have, that they're earning? Yes, people are selling on the market. The Atlas price has dumped just a little bit. The rest of the market has. But what people are actually doing is they are buying all the ships on the Atlas markets that they can see. The Views OPOD is trading at a 200% premium. So the ship, the MSRP is about 1.6K for the Views OPOD, around 1.6K. On the Atlas market, it's selling for $5,000. Nearly a, what is it, 4x. So people are going ahead and lapping up all the ships on the Atlas market. Have you guys noticed this at all? And you noticed when the sentiment was really low about a week or week and a half ago, all these ships were about 30% discounted off.
Yeah,
so
it was always... It's crypto, isn't it? It's always, you need one bit of positive information and people get fucking moons. It's crypto. It's no different just because it's a game. Is if people are feeling low sentiment, and that's what Star Atlas had given, then the coin goes down and NFTs go down in value. But the second there's a bit of positive information, anybody with half a brain would realise if the score comes out, that ships would go up in price, because even looking at my personal earnings, I could buy an X4 every day if I chose. That's good money. Like, that's $20-30 a day.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, because the X4 is a piece of shit. And they run out of fuel in food. It's like they get this fucking burger. The second you get the ship and you launch it, he's eating a burger already, and he's chewing up that food.
Yep, very inefficient.
Yeah, but they're there, and you get them for having the first poster. So I reckon it's awesome. I think they've done well. I still think there's going to come a time where Star Atlas needs to answer about being decentralized or not decentralized. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole now, but I think very successful launch with that, and it will I haven't kept results with Star Atlas because I was disappointed with their actions as a company over the last month. And I'm not talking about delaying things. Things get delayed. That's any project in gaming. It takes fucking time. But we've got 5 more ships to release. Do we want to touch on those?
Yeah, personally, I'm saving all my Atlas for these 5 new ships that are coming out. We don't. Do we actually know which ones they are?
Yeah, you got the BIOS EARP.
EARP, the Mobarella, the Tree Aloe, the X6.
Yep. And the Tree Arrow. You had an interview with someone this week talking about the Tree Arrow.
That's right. The Moonman from Final Frontier, one of the major leading decks in Star Atlas. The Tree Arrow is my favorite ship so far. I can't afford one. It's $100,000, but it is a legendary, and it looks fucking awesome.
I just got my Super in, bro. I can afford it. So what? I wouldn't spend my superannuation on it, that's for sure. 47 crew.
That's crazy.
What is it? A commander? So commanders above the capitals. How many? How many of them are there? 90? 90 of them?
Yeah, 90 supply. 90 supply. 10 modules, 31 components, 47 crew.
The graphics look shit hot, obviously. So what are we thinking? Who's going to be buying these?
YGG, FTX, maybe.
The club.
The club.
The club's already got some, haven't they?
Yeah, actually, they probably do.
I reckon I'd probably get one.
Private sales.
But look, I don't want to go down that line of it too much. I'm still dirty on it.
Yeah. It's been discussed. We've moved on as a community.
Fuck, Barndog doesn't
All's
move on.
forgiven now. They put the game out.
This is the thing, is that people wanted to be able to earn on their. It might be $200. It might be 10,000. It might be 100,000. People wanted to earn. So we've got the EARP, the Pierce R6, and Bombarella. So what are the good ones out of that? The X6 is like a pretty cool small fighter, yeah.
I fucking love that ship.
So what's so good about it, Eggy?
I just think it's good, well priced. It's got 4 slots, extra small slots weapons, and it's got a 4 slot small weapons, and it's got a missile bay. It's got a brig. So I reckon it's better than the Visas A and B for a bounty hunter. So it's got a brig. It's got more firepower. I reckon it's a better looking ship.
So you've got the X5 and the X. What have you got?
I've got an F4 and X5.
And what do you reckon, Metaverse? What do you know about the X6?
To be honest, I'm going to be passing on the X6 myself.
But that's because you're an alien.
Very much. Yeah. It's very much a either a fighter ship, a PvP ship, or like a hunting ship, because it's got a brig, and we know the Ambua has a brig. It's got an ammunition module and a mess hall, and it looks very, very PvP, and that's not my playstyle. That's not what my guild's playstyle is. So I'm probably going to be passing on the X6 myself. It does look nice, looks like a great ship, but now we have to start thinking about what is our playstyle. Are we actually going to go out and kill people? Maybe not.
Yeah, we are. The Mercurials will be.
That's all right. I'll build the ships, and then you can take it out and go and kill people.
And then they've released the EARP, which is another small fighter at the same time. So there was actually a couple of the Fimbles, the build your own ship. So this is going to be, I think there were several of the build your own ships. So the Fimble build your own ship EARP, small fighter. They look rough as guts. Look, to me, this is appealing. This artwork and stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah, the rustic kind of feel.
Like like fucking dirty as shit quarters. I'm looking at it now. It's bunk beds. It's like you're in a fucking prison camp or something.
Yeah, it looks like a scrapyard. It looks like what they call it, picarna when you picarna it.
I guess it's kind of got like it's got like that Star Wars feel as well, hasn't it? Like
whatever it's called.
Yeah, I'm going to be passing these two, definitely.
And the Bombarella, what's that?
So of
That's
course
just like
that's
a big Grenadier. That's the big king daddy of the Bombardier. The Grenadier.
So New Year's Eve.
I wanted to make a comment on the Grenadier, on the Bombarella. Sorry, they keep nailing the artwork and the different types of ships and just the different concepts that they're trying to portray here. This Bombarella in itself, like it looks like it's got graffiti all on the outside, but then you look on the inside and it is gorgeous. You guys have a
It's
look.
beautiful.
Look at the inside. This is crazy stuff. And when I see this and try and imagine this in VR, it blows my mind as to what I could actually see.
Yeah, I was onboarding a mate today and talking about him coming into playing crypto games, and like he wants to play these games, and obviously we talked about Star Atlas, and the whole idea of playing a ship with 5 of your best mates, all flying the one ship, is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, this is probably what we're going towards. If you have a big enough ship, all of you can connect to the same thing and coordinate. How cool would that be?
That's going to be amazing. But I think the Star Atlas team have knocked it out of the park for these ships. I reckon they're the best designed, the best looking ships they've done. And I think they've really up.
Sounds like you're half hard for Star Atlas again. You were bagging them out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was bagging them out. I still do though. I still keep it true and honest. You've fallen in love. You're on the dick again, Eggy.
All over, mate. All over it. Like a baby eagle.
Credit where credit is due, though. This artwork looked awesome. The ship drop went fine. The airdrop maybe not so fine, but hey, you were able to claim it. You're able to earn your Atlas right now. How many other crypto games launch this smoothly? Really?
At the moment, I mean, it's just a stake. Keep in mind, it's just a stake. 9 Heroes did it. 9 Heroes had it up and done before these guys. So it's not as clean. It's nowhere near as clean as this. But I was impressed from the fact that 9 Heroes you could stake for 7 days, 30 days, or 90 days. There was 3 staking options that you could stake your NFTs for and get earnings on them, whereas Star Atlas kept delaying it. But it's there, and it's good. It's, to me, actually, sitting today, I sat down and had a coffee and fucked around trying to work out, because I had my X4s. So you've got to be really careful for when you stake these ships. If you can't be back in 12 hours to refeed to give old mate the extra burgers on his X4 bike, it might not be worthwhile staking that ship. And if you've only got one, the cost of doing Solana transactions may not weigh up using that ship as a staking function. You may actually need to give it to somebody else and get them to do it, because the ships that you can stake them in multiples of the same ship only. And then, I've got 3 X4 bikes because I've got 3 posters. Metaverse did the same. So that's one click to restock the whole ship for all 3 of them. But if you have just one, you're getting 1 Atlas a day, which is 10 cents. So it's not is that worthwhile doing? Plus, you've then got to log in every night. So I think for the little people, this might not be that great. But for the people that have ships of 500 onwards, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think this is a point I wanted to make, that a lot of people cannot be bothered to come back and click every 24 hours for these smaller ships. So we're going to start seeing people consolidate some of their ships into larger and larger ships where you have to come back in 3 days or 1 week. And the smaller ships are what's going to be really lent out.
Yeah, and you're actually going to start to see people possibly doing sponsorships. There's going to be, you're going to find YGG, you're going to find these big guilds. Star Atlas are meant to come out with some kind of tooling in game to be able to hire them out. But from an immediate point of view now, if you can't, we've got 6 people in our team, and a few of those people have a couple of X4s. They don't want to stake them, so I'm like, well, send them to me and I'll stake them. So you're going to have these kinds of deals with teams and that worked out to help each other out and get them out. So I love how it stakes for the faction. I like how there's extra articles in the fleet briefings. It was fairly clean. It's confusing though at the start. They could have given us more information, and when it goes live, make a video live, even if it's fucking Santy, saying this is how you do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you've done one Metaverse. I did my drunk one this afternoon. I know there was that guild that got all the backroom deals.
Yep, they've done one.
Yep. So people are going to do it. Content creators are going to create content. That's what we do. But unfortunately, the old dog had a few too many rums. So I'm sorry, guys, I didn't get one out last night.
As you do.
Yeah, it was an early knock, so it was successful for me.
But in regard to Startless, I've been pretty harsh on them, as I'm harsh on everything. But I'm the first one to give them credit when they fucking step up to the plate and smash it out of the park, and they certainly have.
Have we got any more for Star Atlas? Because we're touching on that time, and I did want to have a quick chat about photo finish tonight.
I just wanted to remind everyone that very soon-ish, they might be revealing more information about the names, about the kind of Web3 naming system in Star Atlas. Not sure if you might have to pay Atlas to get some of these names. That might be the case instead of USDC. But the naming should be coming soon. And then afterwards, we'll have mining missions in January, February, March. We'll see.
Yeah, it's possible. Any news from the potential airdrops for the poster holders?
No, nothing yet. They haven't mentioned anything. I think there was something that was supposed to be an announcement for people in Miami for the poster holders, but it hasn't really materialized. We haven't heard much from it.
All right. Finally, we're going to need more than half an hour every week on Star Atlas. So it was a big week this week. We could keep talking about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can.
If we got anyone in the crowd at the moment that wants to talk about photo finish. So photo finish 2, we had Ian come in last week. We did an AMA. Please put your hand up now. I'd love to have an open discussion live and talk about potential options of us doing a Grape stable. So I'd love to do any team game. We're going to be looking at putting a team in for Chain Myth, a 5v5 game similar to Valorant. Is it Valorant?
Yes.
So first-person shooter game, but that's a 5v5, and we can easily field a 5-person team at Grape. It wouldn't have old Barndog because I haven't played FPS for a long time. I do want to play Chain Myth, and I've minted, and I've got my golden ticket. But obviously, it's going to take me a long time to catch up to skill levels. But do we have anyone? Because I put it in the channel this afternoon. We've had a lot of people talk about it and be interested, but this is where gaming at the moment takes time. Someone's got to be prepared to run that stable. Someone's got to do the spreadsheet work. Someone's got to go and check the marketplaces to see if there's options and available. And there's multiple options that we would have at Grape. We can put in for an application to the DAO, like they did just buy a monk last week. Have you seen what the monk looks like, Metaverse? I haven't seen it.
No, I know they've bought a monk. I didn't know. I haven't seen it. I can go and look at the Grape Vault probably. No. I'm just hoping we fractionalize it and everyone in the DAO can have one.
Well, I mean, I like how they've done the spare wallet, so you don't actually have to give the NFT out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, of course, for the NFT treasury,
yeah.
For the Solana monkey business guy to go to the SMB Discord and get some info for us.
So I'm seeing no hands raised, and I'm seeing no one typing in live questions, which is disappointing. So, I mean, I'm not going to put my time forward for something if I don't see that people are prepared to actually want to be able to do it. And I was hoping we would have people in here. Sixon is super keen to do it. Our friends are talking about potentially buying extra horses. So I've got 2 fillies and 3 studs combined myself at the moment. Nothing huge and hardcore, but it's a game that's going to be a multi-year game. And it's based on you get the PFPs that are the stylish studs and the fine fillies now, and you can't race them. You breed them for Gen 0, and then the Gen 0 breed out, and you breed them for Gen 1, Gen 2, and the game goes for fucking ages. There's going to be gambling. There's going to be degenerative people in there. There's going to be all kinds of shenanigans. We've got a chance to be able to potentially to mate our fillies with the number 4 stud through one of Dean Machine's friends. So we've got other options, but it's a game that is going to take time, and I wanted to make sure that I've given people a chance to be able to talk, and I'd love to be able to communicate and do extra things, but time is precious in crypto, in any industry, and I can spend it researching other games or researching other projects, getting them AMAs on stage, rather than doing spreadsheets for people that have said, oh yeah, I've got a couple of studs, and that's all we hear from them. What do you think, Sixon?
Yeah, I'm keen as to get the DAO going between a group stable between thing breed amongst us. It's been a pretty quiet news, and final photo finish this week. They've only really had that Twitter competition, which we should have went in, but we all missed it.
No, so it wasn't.
And-
It wasn't like that. So it was the top 16 floors on NFT projects.
Oh, I thought we had to register. I misread that then.
No, so we actually didn't miss anything there.
Oh, I don't feel so bad then.
No, we missed nothing. So that was awesome. Coffee Attack, you are one of our guilty subjects that want to talk about it. Awesome. Welcome to stage, man.
Welcome, Coffee.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine, dude.
Good. No, I just have a question, Barn, about your idea. So you want somebody to actually, so we'll pull all of our affiliates and studs together, like a Grape account, and then somebody will actively manage our portfolio. Is that what you're suggesting? I'm just trying to flesh it out here.
Not necessarily. My suggestion is more towards, do we try to ask Grape to allocate some of their treasury resources towards buying floor fillies, specific studs, because there is a chance. Obviously, even the horses, for people that don't understand, these horses live 1 year of a horse life in 1 month of our time. So you get about 2 years gameplay out of owning a horse stud, filly, or then Gen Zeros, etc. So once they die and pass away through age in the game, then those studs and fillies still actually generate revenue via the game governance coin, which is called Crown. So Derby is the utility coin, and Crown is used to rent racetracks and for specific use cases. But you can still earn coins from that. So if I was to make a proposal to Grape to say, well, okay, let's buy 6 floor studs or even fillies, then I'd need to think that we're going to get some kind of usage out of that, as in, do we have a crowd of 20 people that want to play? Because then we're going to need to manage those stables later on down the track. We're going to need to manage those Gen Zero horses that we create. We're going to need to race them once or twice a day, or look through the week and when do we launch them? Do we do events where we've got 6 horses and, get a grape room in the suites, and we make an event out of it every, once a week. We go and bet on the horses and run our fillies and our studs and see how we go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If we get somebody who's committed, right, who can manage the stables. I mean, that's awesome. Like, obviously, that's clearly the number one goal, right? But if we don't have that, so what's Plan B? Because I'm assuming somebody who is committed and willing to do that would want to do that for their own stable, right?
You'd want them to be invested in the game. So anyone playing a game and running a stable is going to either A, need to know about the game, or B, want to learn that game for their own stables as well. So I bought my stud for my partner for Christmas, because my first one, because she loves horses, and I thought this is a way to get her into gaming and bring her into my world of Solana gaming, and through that. And since I've learnt more, I've loved it, and I've bought more horses. But Plan B would be, I guess, people managing their own ones. But we've got a list and a spreadsheet of studs of Grape at the moment, studs and fillies. But I think you're going to find in the end from the crickets that there's not going to be too much happening. Because I don't want to make.
Go ahead, Sixon.
I think a lot of people will manage their own horses though in the Grape community. It's just, it'd be nice for someone to have someone that sort of manages just the Grape assets. I think that's what sort of we're looking at, I reckon, because if you're buying a horse, you're probably going to run it, race it yourself, but then you might get some big whales that don't want to race their own horses. But I think 95% of people will race their own horses.
Yeah, race their own. I can get that.
Breeds and shit.
Well, they trust their own decisions and stuff, and they might not go on a race. They don't want to let people down. I could definitely see that. But then, what do we make? Do we make a proposal to Grape, or do we just try and? Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't make a proposal to the DAO if I've only got 1 or 2 people talking to me on stage and saying, well, that'd be cool, but you know what I mean?
I think we've got plenty of time before it all happens, so we can just sort of generate some interest in the meantime.
Thing is, the the game goes live in Q1 next year, it's not a 5-minute research game. You've got to understand a lot of intricate stuff about the breeding, and do you know what I mean? Like what matches with what, and as the game comes closer to launch, the NFT prices go up because that's what's happening. There's been some massive sales this week, massive. Like there was a stud for 300, there was fillies at 150 and 100. There was big sales of these NFTs.
But I think Grape's best thing, if Grape wanted to get in, they're probably better off buying higher ranking ones and getting the crown and getting a track for themselves that'll generate them income.
I don't know. Wouldn't you just be better off getting half a dozen floors? I don't know. But then you're not breeding them with anything, but at least you've got them for usages if they match potentially any of our fillies. Like we could crunch the numbers, spend the time.
I'd get fillies over a stud if you're buying floors because at least you get a horse out of the filly.
You get a horse later that we can actually run. We can manage in the stable. Someone can do it as a organizer, and we can then bet on those horses come in races. Yeah, I think that would be more exciting from a membership point of view, like to be able to bet on a horse in a particular race.
Oh, it'd be bloody good fun. I can't wait for the game. I don't even like horse racing that much, but I think this game's going to be great because I played the original version on mobile, the photo finish one. It was good.
Yeah, you had half a hard on for Ian when he was on stage. Well done on your first crush. AMA. It was good. It was really good to see Six enjoy me on an AMA. He had half a hard on. He was not stoned that morning as well. Well, actually,
I was.
You were.
It was a great interview, by the way. I loved it. I mean, I think a buddy and mine were listening as well, and we're immensely bullish. Yeah, the one thing is that like to me, I Barndog, I think we have some very good feedback. Like in terms of the very fact that there's like I don't know 6, 7, 8 people who have even chatted in the photo finish chat. This early days. I think that's bullish. I'd take that as a win. So yeah, I mean, I think there'll be a lot of activity once this game starts. But you're exactly right. Prices will explode if this is the real thing, and I think people are starting to realize this is going to be a real game here, and some really serious people behind it. So my proposal is if we don't, I'm sort of leaning towards the 6-in situation, but and also I don't know. I asked Dean specifically like how serious this offer is, and I didn't get
I'd say he's had a super busy week.
I get it.
I would 100% guarantee if he said yes, I'd trust that. I've got faith. So you'll be able to match off that number 4 stud, but like I can get you wanting a reiteration because you're going to be spending money based on that.
No, exactly. Yeah, right. So I would be spending more than 10, maybe over 20 Solana on that basic like confirmation. I could use a second confirmation, right? So I'm sure others would, but I think one thing we could do, I think it'd be fun if we get an active stable, but the thing is that who has the time to actively manage that, and even somebody who's into photo finish will be into it themselves. But I guess one thing we could possibly do, and I could even possibly, I intend to play this game, by the way, just full disclosure. I'm going to do my own thing and hopefully mate with use maybe the number 4 stud and get a good horse, and hopefully you guys do as well. I think one thing that due to time management, time squeeze, is that maybe we advocate buying a pretty good filly and a pretty good stud for Grape, and then they create a great Gen 0, and then we simply manage that one Gen 0, and we kind of like, hey, let's race it and let's do some like live streams and cheer it on and all that stuff.
I can always do that. So running 1 or 2 horses is going to be easy enough. But we are wrapping up with time. We are struggling. I've got an 11 o'clock appointment shortly, so I've got to hit another stage. But yeah, I like the idea of it, and that's where I was kind of leaning towards. Wouldn't it be cool? But do you know what I mean? Like, just to have one horse, is it worth the hassle? Like, if we spend, because you can get a good filly for 10 Solana onwards at the moment. You can get a 800 to 1,000 ranked filly for up to 10 Solana. But is there going to be traction out of that? That's a couple of $1,000. I think you'd want a couple of horses, and then you could run them at different times of the week and do different events, and people could bet on them, and you could do competitions, and people could say, right, let's run them during these specific times, and it could involve people, but I don't know, it still seems like a long shot. It was hard because there was 20 people saying they were interested. We've got a whole heap of people's information, but then I've only got you and me and Sixon on stage talking about it.
Well, between us three, and let's say maybe we get somebody else once things start rolling. I mean, we can all pitch in, and we can manage some of the stable here and there, like 1 or 2 days, and do a few things. I mean, I could do that, for sure. So, I mean, maybe between the three of us and somebody else, that could happen.
Doze would be keen too, because he's pretty.
Yeah, Doze was fairly into it. Yeah. So let me have a think about it. It's DAO meeting Sunday night, and I'll maybe mention something then and just talk. Obviously, it's better to put a proposal up first, but we are super stretched on time. We've gone an hour 40 tonight for our hour 30 show. Coffee Attack, I love you coming on stage, dude. Thank you very much for coming at the end there.
No, always appreciate it, and we should have more discussions about this. I think this game is for real. Yeah, for real. And
they've done over 13 million.
Be involved.
Over 13 million in their first 2 games. Like, this isn't a new game coming out. This is a second. This is This is Photo Finish 2. It's not a game that's not by a developing team that's never built a game before, like many of the things that are happening on Solana at the moment. This is a game that has a successful fucking development team behind them that are building a racetrack metaverse to go with it. You're like, they're not here to fuck around. They are here to supply a good degenerative horse racing game. There's going to be gambling. There's going to be horses. It's based on real racing as best as can be done. And the interview with Ian was awesome. If anybody wants to listen, I've got it on my YouTube. As always, it is a quality team.
You're giving me goosebumps, buddy.
Oh, I listened to his last one as well this week. Yesterday, I think it might have been. They do them late for my time, but I was up. But it's a game to play, and it's a game if you like working out numbers and breeding, and it's got years of potential in it.
Yeah, I hope so.
But thank you for coming on stage, Coffee. Sixon, you got anything to say before we go?
No, thanks. Thanks for everyone coming, Jen. This is a great turnout. 43 people most throughout the night. That's probably the best numbers I've seen for a while, actually.
Yeah,
thanks again, people.
It's been good. The numbers start to go more from this time of night. Metaverse, you got anything finished?
No, man, all good. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone in the crowd for coming on. We're reaching 45 members now, which is probably a record actually for the Saturday night Solana gaming. But yeah, thank you. Is it a record? Thank you, everyone. Anyway,
I think we've had over 50 before, but it's been a couple of quiet weeks. The last probably 4 weeks have been quiet. And I wonder whether that's because we're not giving away NFTs. I want to get them back, not to just draw people here. I want people engaged. I want people coming on stage. I want to play games with my brethren. I want to play a Project Loom with someone. But we've got to, again, it's another game that could be potentially played now. But unless we've got people that can run it or coordinate it, like time is scarce in the crypto industry. So Photo Finish is going to be the first one. I'll have a think about it. But thanks for coming, Metaverse. Thanks for coming, Sixon. Cheers for coming on stage, Coffee Attack.
Oh, good, gentlemen.
We'll wrap it up there. Coffee. And thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.
See you next week.
Catch us.